All right, so we're ready to roll. I got parts here, screws, some extra cleaners and stuff. Power tools and batteries are here, and then my tool bag, or my main one, is up there. So yeah, I'm going to work in the truck. I figured I'd have all this ready just in case. I was like, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be a little bit slow, you know, and they're wrapping it over the weekend too, but it still has to be out for a few days. But the calls won't stop, and I'm not going to complain for that. Work is work. We all, you know, want work. So I'm happy that we're getting work. I just want to be prepared. And sure enough, as the days that I've tried to do it ahead of time, before I dropped off the van, just didn't work out. It kept getting called in. So today was the first day that it was actually there. We dropped it off first thing in the morning when they opened up and everything, and they said they would get to work on it right away. Sure enough, when I got back, I was like, okay, I'll take half a day or so to get my truck set up, right? Because I had all the equipment off my van, because just we've worked with them for, you know, so many vans and never had an issue, but just do not trust that much equipment to be left over the weekend or there for a few days or whatever it is. I've actually had a mechanic steal my van, my whole van. We've talked about it before, but yeah, so I had to deal with that before, and I didn't want to deal with that again. It was horrible. And lo and behold, as I'm like prepping the board and trying to get the divider in, you know, I get a call. So we're going to go check out a make line cooler, a little prep cooler. Most of the time they're just dirty, so I do have my portable pressure washer with me. More than likely it's just gonna be needed cleaning, all that good stuff, and I'm gonna be working out of the truck for a few days, so we'll see how that goes. Everything fit nicely, and I don't even hear it sliding around or anything, so I think we're good to go. I do want to mount them over the weekend and see how that works out, and just in case, you know, every time the van needs to go in for maintenance or get worked on for anything, I can use the truck as an option, or I could, you know, just leisurely over the weekend, maybe take some weekend calls out of it, whatever it may be. You know, I got the option of using the truck. So yeah, sure enough, that was not really much of a call. The temp control, it's mechanical, so it's a dial. Somebody turned it the wrong way, basically turned it off. Normally on these, they do turn them off overnight, so they just switch on and off. When they bring out the product at night, there's two switches that they turn off. And then when they get there in the morning and put everything in, then they just flip everything on. But I don't know why the dial was messed with, because usually that's just set, you know, at a certain set point. Found a coil pretty plugged up, so went ahead and used the last of my aerosol to kind of clean it out, and then with that Milwaukee sprayer, just sprayed it out. You know, did my due diligence on it, just cleaned it out, checked pressures, and make sure I waited till everything's satisfied. But if they had no issues prior to that, it was just, you know, negligence or whatever you want to call it. Somebody turned it off and didn't turn it back on. So still got a charge, still got an invoice. That pack out in the bed is actually working really good because of the ridges in the floor and the way the pack out has the feet and stuff. It actually doesn't sway. It kind of locks itself into place. And then I wedged the sprayer on the end where there's a little bit of a gap. I might want to do an open crate instead of the ammo can style box at the end, because it really doesn't do any help. Because that's just like where I throw a bunch of stuff in there. I think I'm better off with a crate. So I'll swap that out for an open crate, see how that works out, because I think I just want something where I can dump maybe a Freon tank and some, you know, miscellaneous stuff in there in the meantime, because right now I have the tank and stuff inside, or some stuff in here, when I can just throw it in a crate. So far so good. We'll see what else comes up. I got to go to the parts house and get some stuff and continue my day. All right, another call in the same truck. So we have an AC no cool. He did mention that they have been having power outages. So let me see. Yeah, I got some space. I don't have a ladder. They do have an access, but I need to get up to it. So I believe they should have a ladder here somewhere in the back, like in a storage area. So let me get up. I'll just park here. Let me get up to the access and then we'll go check it out. They have basically 2 units, which is the carrier with the new compressor that we didn't, you know, touch. I think that one is working. I want to say it's the new Daikin that's in there. So if and I've already done repairs on that, so if it has another issue, we'll see. Well, they used to have ladders back here, so I had to go get you know, their 6-foot ladder, and we'll just hop up there. No biggie, but the older I get, the more I hate this kind of stuff. All right, so we got old carrier, new Daikin. Let's see, this one's running. Doesn't feel too hot. Okay. We got, I don't think I can focus on it. This is iced up. It's all iced up, so we'll probably give that one a look real quick after we see what's going on over here. So this one's off, it should be on. Let's check power. And that's gonna be this panel right here. And we'll go from there. All right, so if it is a tripped breaker and we don't have power coming up, even though I was in there, I'm not gonna reset it until I take a look here or disconnect or turn off the disconnect, so it doesn't immediately, you know, trip again. So, what do we got going on here? Oh, transformer stripped. So we're gonna reset that in a minute and just take a quick glance. Last time, I want to say that was an issue last time. We're gonna check the pressure switches, because I had those that the wires kind of broke off and touched like the copper. So I'll check that real quick, and the contactor coils. All right, so I took a quick look just from the top here. None of the connections are broken. I do not like the way they have these. There's so much tension on the pressure switches because they're pulling the wire back. They're zip tied and stuff, but it's still tension. And then a lot of the copper is just laying on, I mean, a lot of the wires are just laying on the copper where there could be rub outs. So I don't think there's anything there. I didn't see anything. So we're gonna start checking our contactors after we shut this off. And we're gonna check the ohms resistance on the coils and see if there's one that is shorted out, basically. So yeah, best practices with the wires off, I know, but we do have one. They're all reading 6 to 7, except this one is reading basically 1 ohm. I'm gonna remove the wires to verify, but looks like we have this one at the end, messing up everything. So we have our HVAC drawer, and we're gonna grab I think this is all I have for 24 volts. 3-pole. All right, so just so you can see the first one here, I mean, I haven't traced to what each one is, but this first one here is giving us almost 6, and then the other two, these are all identical contactors, are over 7, I believe. So that last one is the one that's shorted, but we're gonna go ahead and change out this one that is very low. Once you get under, from what I've heard, under 6, I think it depends on the brand. So right here we do have the same exact contactor, so you can just compare to each one. If you can do that, or if you have another system that's running fine, go open up, you know, the next one over and do your checks for like that kind of stuff that you don't have an exact number to. As long as it's the same brand, you can compare them. Same brand, same coil voltage, amperage, all that stuff, because that has to do with the reading you get. So if you can identify, you know, all that. So from what I understand on this in front of me, what I'm checking right now, these two are good at 7.6 or 7, shorted, and this one's low. So let's change out the two, that way we don't get a callback for this one. And then these two are basically good. This is a brand new unit, like a year, 2 years old. So, I mean, I'm not gonna change 4 of them out. I'm just gonna change out the 2 bad ones. Got the new one right there. Always check your new stuff too, your new capacitors, your new contactors. So on the coil, we have 7.7, which is basically what those 2 middle ones are giving us, like I said. And then we're gonna change out, as a precaution, the one that's reading 6. As I was going to remove this one, that is loose as shit. So we're gonna put this one in, and then we're gonna tighten all the damn connections, because this is all factory wiring from what I remember. And yeah, because you just wire in the power. Like all this is factory wiring. You can see one is already charring up. I don't know, all these are freaking loose. Quality control, right? All right, now I've shown this before. You just, for a quick fit, you can either cut off the whole fork or cut off one side, because these are the other style that take, you know, the screws in there. This is like just the clamp down type. All right, so removed it. 2 screws, kind of like the ones that I put. They're kind of the same. Nothing's super pitted. Usually this would be super discolored. You could tell the color difference on the plating. If it's real black, I looked underneath. It's not really that pitted more than it usually gets. Like contactors get pitted easily. Just you're constantly giving it power or slamming shut, power through. It's gonna arc. So a little discoloration is not bad, like a little bit of pitting, and that's how that one looks. I only have 2 contactors on my truck, so I will just say at some point, you know, we can come back and replace these if they feel, you know, if they're worried about that, because like I said, this one was heating up a little bit. Other than that, we're just gonna make sure that these are all tight, which, I mean, I can turn them pretty easy. You don't have to overdo it, just, you know, if you can turn it, turn it. I don't have a torquing screwdriver on me. I think I had already tightened this one. Oh, my arms hurt. All right. I think these are all good up here. Put our last connections on here. Make sure those connections are not loose either. They shouldn't slide on. There should be a little bit of friction. All right, so put the cover back on and reset this, and then I got to get out of here. I got another call. All right, everything's good. It's gonna cycle through. It does, I don't know, it does turn them on, and then it turns them on one by one. So it's running, nothing's tripped yet. That is a blower. I think these are the contactors. No. That's a blower, and then these, I don't know if that's one of the contactors. Possibly. I think these two. Okay, while I wait on the Dakin to start up, this is the one that's icing up. The other company put in a compressor. I don't think we have any issues there. I can hear that it sounds like a belt broke or something. That is super loose. What the hell? All right, so I'm just gonna tighten it up for them right now. And I'll have to go get some AX49. All right, so unit started. As you can see, all these three contactors are pulled in. That was gonna be our culprit. Nothing has tripped. It's cooling. We got warm air coming out. So I'm gonna close this one up and then finish that carrier over there. Man, I thought it was screwed. So I'm gonna loosen all this, right? You gotta loosen those bolts too. But I don't have my socket set. It's back in my, basically at my house, because I have the, what do you call it? The install bag over there. And I'll loosen that right now. But I always keep tools in my backpack with that EDC insert. So we got these pass-through socket set that I use around the house, maybe on the car or something I'm working on. So it's a pass-through. You're gonna have room for that bolt. And then I got the extension. I'll be able to do it out here. Yeah, that gives me enough clearance to do basically all of them. And we're just gonna use this ratchet that goes with it. And we are in business. Right. So just gonna tighten it as to get us by, right? I'm not gonna overdo it. We're gonna go pick up some belts. I have other calls to get to, so I wanna get them by. Like, this is not cracked or broken. Just need to adjust it a little bit. So we got it down, dropped it down. When you loosen these and then you loosen the 4 bolts, it just drops to wherever this top one is. Or if you're gonna lift it, you gotta crank it the other way. But just had the belt on there to give me some tension. Actually, I might loosen it a little bit more. And then just tighten this back up. All right, this kit does come with a impact adapter if you guys wanted to put like your 916 or whatever and put it in the drawer. I brought it just in case, but I ended up doing it hand tight pretty well. So let us put this back together, turn it on. I think the blower comes on. Yeah. Better than what it was. It's still horrible, but I have to go get him a new belt later today. So yeah, that unit is satisfied. So I'm gonna have to go down, and that'll give me an opportunity to turn the fan on, because there's a little bit of ice left. I can run the fan on and then, you know, go get the belt, go do some other calls, and then come back later and either just leave it as a spare or change it out or whatever. And maybe the ice will be melted by then. All right, so I'll let them know that I'll be back. Right now I need to run a couple of errands. I picked up some food. I was working through, or it got to lunch. But I'm trying to rush because I'm still getting a lot of stuff coming in